I was actually interested to see Raw this week because I thought they did some interesting things with Night of Champions. I thought they actually corrected a lot of the problems that they had created the past few weeks on Raw. And I certainly hoped that this show would be better than what we had seen for the past few weeks. The show started out with Dean Ambrose coming out. I think that's a nice way to start the show because Ambrose is really over right now. And he got a nice pop when he came out. And of course, then he cut a great promo, which is typical because he's probably the greatest mic worker in the business right now. And he cuts a nice promo where he calls out Seth Rollins. And then John Cena came out. And he said, he said that he's also got beef with Seth Rollins because of what happened at Night of Champions. So they're both basically calling out Seth Rollins. Honestly, when Cena came out, it brought the segment down a little bit. So then the whole authority comes out. Triple H and Stephanie with Kane and Orton, and Seth Rollins is behind them. Basically, Ambrose and Cena both come down the ramp and just attack the authority. And it ends up with Seth Rollins running from Ambrose and Cena. And they ran all backstage, and Rollins ended up getting in a car and taking off as Cena and Ambrose tried to get to him. This is a good segment. It was a fun segment. Watching Cena and Ambrose chase Rollins all the way through the building, that was fun. It kind of worries me on one hand that they got Cena involved with Rollins and Ambrose. That's a little bit scary. On the other hand, I think it escalates Rollins as a bigger star because Cena has beef with him. I think that just that mere fact makes Rollins look like a bigger star because he looked like a bigger star tonight. And that's a good thing. That's what we need to do on this nice, slow, gradual build of Seth Rollins. Next, we had the Intercontinental Championship match between The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I was a little bit confused why they were having this match on Raw because The Miz just won the title the night before on Night of Champions. So I didn't understand why they were having Dolph use his rematch clause this quick because I felt like they could get one more match out of this on a pay-per-view. But surprisingly, Ziggler actually regains the Intercontinental Championship. I felt like they would have The Miz hold on to the title a little bit longer. I certainly don't mind Ziggler having the title. It looks like that at least if he's got the championship, they're going to do something with him. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. If they try to have him have one more match at Hell in a Cell, or if they just go off and do something different from here with Ziggler, the new Intercontinental Champion, and The Miz. Next, they had a match between Jack Swagger and Bo Dallas. Again, this is the third television show in a row, Raw, SmackDown, and here again on Raw, where they've had Jack Swagger versus Bo Dallas. This match was about 2 minutes. Swagger submits Bo Dallas in the ankle lock. I don't know what they're doing here. There's great potential in both of these guys. There's potential in this feud. I think Bo Dallas could do some really good things in the company. But apparently, they're already done with him. They're moving on. They're going to go ahead and just be done with him. So that's upsetting to me. This is the first time during this show that I was actually disappointed. By the way, at this point in the show, they acknowledged the death of some guy that was on the Howard Stern show, and I'm not really familiar with the Howard Stern show, but I just wanted to point out that they acknowledged the death of this person I'd never heard of, and they blatantly ignored the death of Sean O'Haire a few weeks ago, one of their own. So I just thought I would point that out. Now we have a match between Natalya and Summer Rae. It's a Total Divas match. Nobody cares. I could care less about Total Divas. I don't care about any of these women. Although Natalya should be in the Divas Championship picture, she's obviously not. She's not going to be because she's a Hart. And we all know that, and we all know that's why. But, it is what it is. I don't really care about seeing anything that has to do with Total Divas. But we get this match on Raw. Summer Rae comes out with Layla in her corner, and she refers to her as my girl Lay. So I don't know if they're trying to remake Lay Cool. I certainly hope not, because Summer Rae is a long way from Michelle McCool. She has no potential at all. She has no reason being in this business. Natalya gets the win in the sharpshooter. I don't know that it matters. I doubt that you care. Let's move on. The next thing on the show is the hour one main event of Dean Ambrose versus Kane. This match really don't matter. It was short. I mean, it was serviceable, but the point was that Seth Rollins came back and attacked Ambrose. And after the match, you've got Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, and The Authority all talking backstage. And Ambrose comes out of nowhere and just starts pummeling Seth Rollins again. And once again, they break them up. They pull them apart. I'm begging WWE to put these two guys in Hell in a Cell. That would be unbelievable. That's what we need as a payoff for this feud. That feels like a Hell in a Cell caliber feud. Sure, they won't do it, but I'm begging WWE to put these two guys in Hell in a Cell. But anyway, they pull them apart. And I don't know why Jamie Noble is always pulling these guys apart. It seems like Jamie Noble is always pulling Dean Ambrose off Seth Rollins. They actually lock Dean Ambrose in a janitor's room. Triple H is going to have him thrown out of the arena. Stephanie comes in and says, no, lock him in this janitor's room. Put a bunch of security guards in front of it with the key. You know, he's banging on the door. Triple H asks her why she did that, and she says that we always throw people out of the arena and they always come back, which I thought was kind of funny. He also referred to Ambrose as a loose cannon, which I thought was interesting because, of course, that was the way that they used to refer to Brian Pillman. We get a Roman Reigns update where it basically talks about the same stuff they talked about at Night of Champions. He's had hernia surgery. He's going to be out, what they say, several months. I don't know if that means 3 months or 8 months. I don't know. I definitely believe he'll be back by the Royal Rumble, if not by Survivor Series. We get a 6-man tag with the Usos and Sheamus against Goldust, Stardust, and Cesaro. Nothing special there except for the Usos end up pinning Goldust, which obviously tells us what we already knew, that they're going to have a rematch down the road for the Tag Team Championship, which is fine. Okay, then Mark Henry comes out. He comes out. I was interested in what he was going to say. He comes out, he apologizes to the crowd. He says he let everybody down. JBL is just really selling the point that, yeah, he let everybody down. He's a big failure. Deport him. I love JBL doing this. Rusev comes out. Lana actually talks, which she didn't last night. I guess she didn't need to. Rusev's actions did all the talking at Night of Champions. She actually taunts Mark Henry, talks him into having another match right now with Rusev. Rusev comes down to the ring, just basically squashes him. Mark Henry ends up passing out in the Accolade. More of the same. They're going the right direction with Rusev. I like what they're doing here. The next logical step will be to transition into a feud with the Big Show. I think that would be fine. That's a little bigger name, a little another way of moving Rusev on up the ladder of success in the WWE. Now we have, I really don't want to even talk about this, but I'm going to gloss over it. We have a tag team match between Slater Gator, which I care about less, Heath Slater, and Titus O'Neil. The only thing about this is I feel like Titus O'Neil could do more, but they've got him teamed up with Heath Slater, and of course they're facing Adam Rose and the Bunny. Adam Rose is wearing more makeup than Angelina Jolie. And then you've got his tag team partner as a bunny, a guy in a bunny suit. And this is just stupid. This is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen on Raw. And that covers a lot of ground. I don't care. I care less. I don't even remember who won that. I don't care. I'm sure it was Adam Rose and the Bunny. I'm pretty sure the Bunny's going to turn out to be Darren Young, and I still won't care. Moving on. I don't really care about the Bella Twins segment either. I will talk about it because I'm sure this is going to lead to a horrible, horrible one-on-one match at Hell in a Cell. The point ends up being Nikki wants the exclusive rights to the Bella's name. This is so stupid. Then AJ comes out. She's the new Divas champion. She has a match with Nikki. Paige is on commentary. Obviously, they're going to advance the AJ and Paige feud. Looks like they dropped the frenemies thing, which is good. Nothing special happened here. AJ, of course, won the match. She made Nikki tap out. Paige did commentary. You know, it is what it is. Moving on now to the main event, John Cena versus Randy Orton. I'm glad this match here has been relegated to a main event on Raw because I'm tired of seeing this on pay-per-view. I know everybody else is too. It's fine for a Raw main event. They had a good match. Rollins and Kane were at ringside. They pointed out that there was obviously this box that contained the cinder blocks, like they crushed Dean Ambrose's head into about a month ago. Obviously, you know that the cinder blocks are not actually in that box. And of course, when John Cena has Orton in the STF, Kane and Rollins jump in the ring, cause a disqualification. Of course, they drag Cena out to the box, and they're going to pull the top off of it. And of course, as we all knew, Dean Ambrose is in the box. Now, how he got in the box, how he got out of the room with all the security around him, I have no idea. I guess that's not important. That WWE obviously does not care very much about logic. But we get another nice Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins spot. And I'm glad these two guys are getting so much time on Raw. I really am. Whether it makes logical sense or not, I'm happy to see Ambrose and Rollins, especially Ambrose, getting this much time on Raw. That's a good thing. Once again, I'm going to end this video with one more plea to the WWE. Please put these two guys in Hell in a Cell. That's all I want. I don't care what else you do on the pay-per-view. Put Ambrose and Rollins in Hell in a Cell. Overall, not a horrible show. There were some really horrible segments, but overall the show wasn't as bad as what we've been seeing the past few weeks. I'm interested in the Rollins Ambrose link and the Cena element being thrown into that. I'm interested to see where this goes. So there were some redeeming qualities on this show. We'll see what happens moving forward.